Welcome to the third part of my Spider-Man month celebration. Last time, I reviewed Spider-Man 2, and I finally found myself bested by the first subpar entry in the series. It wasn't horrible by any means, but even as the LJN Defender, I couldn't find enough redeeming qualities to recommend it. Bits screwed up. But they were given another chance at bat with the third installment, Invasion of the Spider Slayers. After the flawed but enjoyable original Rare developed title and the misstep that was the sequel, is this a step in the right direction? Or is this another strike? Let's find out. Released about a year later in July 1993, Invasion of the Spider Slayers starts off stronger than the first sequel. The title screen music is a lot better than in 2, as is the image of the wall crawler. The label art, while still cool, doesn't compare to the Carnage-centric cover of 2. The story, on the other hand, takes a little bit of a backseat, with the setup being nothing more than Parker heading out on his routine neighborhood watch. As a result, the objective of the first stage is to simply stop 20 muggers in Central Park. Riveting, isn't it? Of course, later sections introduce the titular Spider Slayers, robotic alien creatures that have the sole purpose of hunting down and killing the wisecracking webhead, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The Central Park level is the easiest in all of these games, bar none. The web slinger moves back and forth, waiting for the perps to show themselves. The most frequently encountered are the trench coat toughs ready to pop a cap in the web swinger's ass. Watch out though, as not all of these impeccably dressed individuals are packing heat. Some are wannabes wanting to play the part without the piece, but others are merely tourists consulting a map for sightseeing. This is where we play the waiting game. The mugger has to be confirmed as such before being checked off the counter. In other words, let them shoot first and then deal with them. As for the map readers, unlike NES Punisher, the only penalty for killing innocent bystanders is a few points off the score. If you want to have some fun at the tourist's expense, by all means do so. Oh boy, my first perp of the day, wait, map? Wait, well, web crouch, skateboard, you take a look at this. Okay, guy, are you, is it a map? Is it a gun? What do you got in that trench coat of yours? Come on, do something. I'm getting bored over here. Come on, I'm done with you. Oh, wait, I know your type. You're just going to toy around with me. Well, you know what? I have the power to blink you out of existence. Watch this. I walk off, and you don't exist. Oh, hi, buddy. How's it going, man? Oh, you got a map there, huh? Where are you looking to go? I mean, where do you need to find your way around to get to the subway and all these other famous landmarks? Where do you want to go? I mean, I'll be your best friend. What do you want to do? I can guide you around. Spidey's got nothing better to do. No, my friend! Again, unlike the Punisher, there's no funny saxophone sound death rattle here, and killing isn't the part-time Avengers style. So just mosey on by and rescue cats from trees to make up for all the bad karma. The other type of mugger is the skateboarding hooligan. The difference between Trenchcoat Terrence and Skateboard Sal is that every one of the boarders are guilty. Take them all out with extreme prejudice. This is a little easier said than done, as timing the attack to eliminate the moving target can be quite a pain. Fortunately, Pete finally has an unlimited source of web shooter attacks, so these punks can be taken out from a distance. The problem with the web shooters is that they're virtually useless against the later foes, so don't get too reliant on them. In addition to the regular skateboarders, there are unoccupied boards that will travel back and forth of their own accord. They must be manned by the Ghost Skateboarder, the spirit of half-piping. That's a little creepy, isn't it? I'm starting to get the ghibli, so let's move on to less spooky subject matter, like level 1-2. 1-2 is even easier. Parker's spider sense goes off, he finds one of the title creatures and fights it. Once it's defeated, that's the end of the segment. 1-3, on the other hand, is a whole other matter entirely. The Marvel mascot sees a metal bird, and he has to defeat said bird. Sounds easy enough, right? Wrong. Your jumping and web swinging skills better be in top form or you're going to be in serious trouble. The jumping is again controlled by the B button, but that's not where the complications arise from. First of all, the metal bird is constantly dogging our hero. dropping objects and shooting energy balls out that will take precious life from Parker's meter. He may be strong, with radioactive blood pulsing through his veins, but in order to survive the onslaught, the Quipster has to avoid the bursts as best he can while double jumping, swinging, and wall climbing to the roof. This would be a nightmare with the amazing Spider-Man's controls, but the basic mechanics of Spider-Man 3 have been improved upon from its predecessors. Web swinging is accomplished by pressing up and A, and the double jump is performed by tapping B twice. Doing this near a wall or building will put the superhero in the climbing position. Like I said, the basics have been greatly improved, but there are glaring inherent flaws when these are further examined. The double jump, for example, has to have perfect timing. Otherwise, Petey will miss the target and plummet to the ground below, losing some serious health points in the process. It took me a long time to get the rhythm of it. It has to be quick, but not too quick. Delay the second tap a little bit, but not too long either. It can get very frustrating, especially since these tricky jumps are complicated by the aforementioned barrage from the metallic bird. Once the top is reached, the boss itself isn't too bad. Don't get me wrong, it's still a pain in the ass trying to get in and knock its beak off without taking a hit. But if you can manage to hold your ground and get hits in over time, the bird will go boom in quick order. With that taken care of, we're finally at level 2. Yes, all of this so far was parts of the first stage, so that shows what kind of difficulty is in store on this adventure. Stage 2 brings in Electro, who's up to no good, robbing banks as usual. Just your average adventure for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And that's the best way to describe Spider-Man 3. Average. It's definitely a step in the right direction from the previous sequel, but not quite up to the standards set by the Rare-developed original. I'll give Bits credit for producing a much better effort than their first stab at the series. The graphics and music are greatly improved, as are the controls, for the most part, but there are still many flaws. The jumping requires pinpoint accuracy, the hit detection can be really wonky, and it continues the formula set by 2 of no continues and minimal lives. Like I said before, Invasion of the Spider Slayers is average at best. It's missing that X factor that made Return of the Sinister Six, another Bits developed title, a much more enjoyable experience, but that's all I'll say about that for now. Would I recommend it? Maybe. If you're an avid Game Boy fan looking for a cheap cart to add to your collection, then go ahead and pick this up. If you love Spider-Man and want to experience as much of the character's history as possible, then give this a go. If you're just looking for a fun comic book-based action title, then look elsewhere. There are plenty of other games that are much better than this. So Spider-Man month is now over halfway done. Rare started off with a pretty good side-scrolling platformer. Bits' first attempt was a blunder and a half, and they redeemed themselves with the fairly enjoyable Invasion of the Spider Slayers. Next time, Spider-Man crosses over with the X-Men to take down the head honcho of Murder World in Arcade's Revenge. Tune in to the final LJN Defender segment of Spider-Man Month.